I've been thinking a lot about practice since I've been teaching a lot about how to grow to help my students grow their practice. And what I'm finding is the main thing that is needed is more better core strength. And I had this problem early on in my practice. I wanted to do all these things. I wanted to be, like to be able to, do a headstand or do, like an arm balance. And I had the weakest core. I mean, I actually hurt myself trying to do things before my body was ready. So, um, on the advisement of one of my favorite people and favorite yogis, Carolyn, you know who you are. Um, I came home every day, and I worked on my core, and like and I hated it. I hated it, um, but it was the best thing that I ever did for my practice. I am able to get through so many things easier. My practice is not easier. I'm stronger. And people say that a lot. They say, it doesn't get easier, you just get stronger, and that's the truth. So, I'm putting together, I'm going to present to you here today my version of like a short core practice. And you can take little snippets of it. You can do the whole thing. It's, like I said, it's short, and just take little bits and pieces of it if you want, and just do something a little bit every day, and I can guarantee you that you will see progress, whether you're a yogi or you're a cyclist or you're a runner. Core strength is paramount. Think of the core is integral to everything. You is your foundation. So to strengthen it is necessary. So let's start in tabletop, because what I'm going to do is that I want to show that no matter what level you're at the moment, that you can, like increase your core strength. You don't have to be able to do the advanced levels of a pose. So we're going to start in tabletop. And the first thing I want to do is, you may see in my videos that I'm always crunching. I'm always bringing my knee in toward my chest when I'm in downward facing dog. Well, you can do that and get similar benefits until you're able to do it at the advanced level. You can start in your tabletop position with your knees directly below your hips, the palms of your hands directly below your shoulders. You want to really press into your the palms and your fingertips. And you want to externally rotate those biceps. And in this tabletop, you want to always have like that, like really press into this and have an open back. That's paramount. That's the first thing. Then you want to let's start with the left leg. Take it straight back and maintain the integrity of the pose, a nice straight long line, and then bring your knee in towards your chest as far as you can. Contracting. Inhale. And this whole time you have your navel drawn into your spine. Exhale. Inhale, extend, and exhale. One more time. And then take your knee back to the mat. Same thing on the other side. Maintain integrity. Really press into the palms of your hands. Draw that navel into the spine. Extend that leg back on an inhale. And on an exhale, bring that knee in toward your chest. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's just do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then come back to your tabletop. Another way to get there that I found when I teach, that I instruct my students on, is that if you have blocks, it's easier. Sometimes you can't get in there. Sometimes you have stuff in the way. You have stuff in the way. So if you have blocks, another way to get there, and if you want to, actually elevate to like the next level, curl those toes, raise up about 2 inches from the mat, take your leg back, and then inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then lower back to the mat. You can take a rest, raise up, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Lower back to the mat. Move your blocks out of the way. And then this may be a good time to scoot back into your child's pose. The one thing that you want to always remember, because core work is very hard, is to have compassion for yourself. It's okay to rest. It's okay if I'm instructing you to do 10 reps of something, but you can only do 3, or you can only do 5 or whatever, or you can do 10. But be kind to yourself and don't kick yourself because you may not be able to do what your instructor does, because this is your practice, your body, and you're going to get there when you can. So, to go to the next level for your knee to nose or knee to chest crunches, press into your downward facing dog. You're going to have your hands about shoulders width apart, your feet about hips width apart. You're going to draw that navel into your spine. You're going to externally rotate those biceps and just let your head hang. When you get ready to lift your right leg, bring that left foot in a little bit toward the center. Raise that right leg into three-legged dog. Be sure that your toes are pointed toward the floor and your hamstring is pointed toward the ceiling. Raise up on the toes of your left foot. Curl your back and bring your knee in toward your chest. Take it back up and then lower back down. Same thing on the other side. Bring that right foot in toward the center a little bit. Raise up on the toes of your right foot as you raise your left foot in the air. Curl your body and bring your knee in towards your chest. Back up to three-legged dog. Lower your foot to the mat. And then back into child's pose. There's no way that you don't feel that. And if you work on these things, just a few minutes, take a few minutes out of your day, every day, and just concentrate on your core, you will see results quickly, very quickly. I did. And I only did, and I was just consistent with it. It's all about consistency and practice. So let's move on. So we're going to go to the right side. So we're going to bring that left foot in toward the center. Raise that right leg. Bring that knee in toward your chest. And then step through. And what I want to do is that I am going to open up into my extended side angle, but my hand is not touching the floor. I'm lifted. So I'm working those obliques. And then I'm going to take my right hand out under my left hand as if I'm holding a beach ball. And I'm just going to press, 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 press. And we'll straighten that leg and take this to triangle pose. And another version is to take your hand down and just lift. These are all just tips on things you can do to increase core strength. Then windmill your hands down to the floor while you're bending that right knee. Take that leg back to three-legged dog, and then bring it back to meet your left leg. And you will lift your left leg. Raise up. Bring your knee in towards your chest. Step through. Turn that back foot. Extended side ankle on your left side. Take that hand through and lift. And be sure that that chest is open. You don't want to be turned toward the floor. You don't want to be turned toward the ceiling. You want to have a nice, straight, long line. And you straighten that leg for your triangle pose. Keep a slight bend in the knee. Never lock your knee. You can do the other version. And you go back, bend that knee. Lift back into three-legged dog. Downward facing dog. And then back into your child's pose. Raise back up, curling your toes, going back into your downward facing dog. Okay, one of the poses that I know people really don't like, I'm not going to say hate, but don't like, is plank pose. There's no way to get around plank pose if you want to build a strong core, a strong foundation for your practice. Remember to always press into those fingertips, widening that back, drawing that navel into the spine, a long line from your head down to your tailbone, and breathe. But remember, you can always take your knees to the mat if that's where you need to be, but just maintain the integrity of the pose. Make sure that you're pressing into those hands. Back up. And then push back into downward facing dog. You can go down to dolphin. And then into your forearm plank. Just as effective. It's just better if you have wrist issues. This is a better way to go. You want to have the same, keep the same concept. Draw that navel in. Nice, strong push into to those forearms. Have that back really broaden. And breathe. Back into your dolphin. Downward facing dog. Bring your knees to the mat. And with compassion, back to your child's pose. Curl those toes back into your downward facing dog. One of my favorite things to do, and with every other core pose, used to be something that I really did not like to do because I wasn't strong enough. But this is something that is this pose is really good for your obliques. So I really suggest it. So a lot of people go into side plank from plank. I actually prefer going into side plank from down dog. Because when you roll onto your side, you want to have that lift and you're already lifted, so you don't have to do much to get there. So you can keep your foot on top of, you can keep your top foot on top of the bottom foot. If you want to make it easier, you can take it out in front or take it out in back. I think in front is better because you want to keep a nice straight long body. If you need to, you would drop that knee, but still maintain that lift and press into the palm. Take your hands back to the mat. Breathe. Down to your knees back to the tabletop. And back into your child's pose. Curl your toes. Turn to the other side. Take your position. You can either stagger on top or drop that knee, that bottom knee. Just maintain that lift. And back to downward facing dog. Child's pose. Now, we will go to our last few poses. Boat pose, which I'm sure most yogis don't look forward to. I never did. But it is probably, I would say arguably, the best core builder ever. It builds the back muscles, the upper abdominals, the lower abdominals, the hip flexors, everything. So what you want to do is that I start by leaning back, have my hands back behind me, fingertips pointed toward my body, and I'm just hanging out here, right? But then I want to start taking my position. Really draw that navel into the spine first. Really draw it in. You want to like really feel it, like right? And then you're gonna take those shoulders back and open that heart. This is the position that you want to maintain. Then you can go to the tops of your toes. You can bring one hand out, the other hand out, one leg up, the other leg up, and everything is on fire right away. You can feel it in your hip flexors, you can feel it in your back, you can feel it in your abdominals, everywhere. If you can go further, take it further. Keep that heart open. If you have it in you, arms above, and then you really got it going on. You can lower it to your low boat, maintaining that contraction in the abs, your lower back in the mat, legs out off the floor, hands out to the side, nice long neck. Raise back up, feet down to the mat. Whew. So that was the pose that I worked on every day until I could get up to holding it for a minute and a half. And let me tell you, when I was able to do that, my boundless expectations were realized. Okay, so we have a few more. Come down to your back. Lay on your back. And for a second, just lay there. Just find your breath. And then draw that navel in, just like you're putting a corset on. And I like to do that grunt. I saw a yogi do this on YouTube, and I was like, that stuck with me. That's the perfect way to describe it. Just like, right? So you're gonna have your legs straight out. You're gonna have your arms out to the side. You're gonna peel your shoulders up from the mat. Keep that open neck because you're not working your neck. You want to work the core, right? So keep that neck straight, right? With an open chin, with your chin up. Then you want to raise your legs to a hover, just like you're in low boat, right? You're in low boat. And then you bring your legs up. And then exhale, lower. Inhale and exhale. And to make it easier, if you need to, you can place your hands below under your bottom, and that'll help. Inhale and then exhale. Inhale and then exhale. Inhale, one more, and then exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. One more. I usually go further, but in the interest of time, I'm going to stop it here. So then another way to go. Oh, at this point, just lay down and have a rest. Now, draw that navel in again. Peel your shoulders from the mat. Come back into your low boat. This time, bring your knees in. And exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Hold it there. And then lower back to the mat. Let's do one more. Draw that navel in. Really push that lower back into the mat. Peel those shoulders from the mat. Come into your low boat. Raise one leg and then the other. And breathe. Two more times each side. One more. That's your low boat. And then just breathe. Turn over onto your bellies. We want to give a little bit of a stretch into those overworked abdominals. So bring your elbows directly next to your breast or your chest. Bring them in. Really press into your forearms and to the palms of your hand. Draw that navel into the spine. Sphinx pose. And breathe. If you need a little bit more, press into those hands and straighten those arms. Draw that navel in. Lower back. Take your cheek to the mat. And breathe. One more pose to counter everything that you've done to the front of your body. So we're going to do locust, but with like I like to call it Superman. I think other people do too. So what we want to do is that we want to take our hands out, have them hover above the mat. Raise your thighs from the mat. Raise your chest from the mat. Breathe. Inhale. And then in each exhale, come back to your goalpost arms. Inhale. But keep that chest and the thighs raised. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale, and then lower. Bring your hands back to the mat. Push up into your tabletop. Come back around to your easy seated position. That was exhilarating for me, and I hope that you enjoyed as well. And I'm telling you, even if you only take snippets and work on a little bit of it every day, you will get stronger. And a stronger core translates to a stronger body, and you will be able to do things you never even thought you could do. I guarantee it. I am a testament to it. So thank you for joining me today for core strengthening. Namaste.